In this video, we will discuss whether the voice will have veto power over the Parliament and the executive government, or it is just a simple advisory body. We found another quote from Megan Davis from the Referendum Working Group. She has said, "The voice will be able to speak to all parts of the government, including cabinet, ministers, public servants and independent statutory officers and agencies, such as Reserve Bank as well as a wide array of other agencies including, to name a few, Centrelink, the Great Barrier Marine Park Authority and the Ombudsman." This is further evidence that the disagreement between experts like Greg Craven and Megan Davis is not merely about different interpretations of the proposed constitutional amendment, but rather about differing opinions on the extent of powers the voice should have. And the issues that we refer to as complexities of this amendment are indeed features deliberately included in the proposed amendment. With this introduction, in this video, we want to look at whether the voice will have any power to enforce their opinion onto the Parliament or the government. We have seen some experts have stated that the voice will not have veto rights. The design principles that the government has released also clearly say that the voice will not have veto power. So, is it true that voice is simply an advisory body? The proposed text does not say that the voice is going to have an advisory role, but says that they make representation. Also, the voice will have powers that will be legislated later by the Parliament. So there might be power beyond making representation. But to this point, we don't know what the exact power of the voice is. But to give the government the benefit of the doubt, let's assume that it will only have an advisory role and nothing more. And its advices are not justiciable, despite Marcia Langton, the architect of the voice, clearly stating that they want their decisions to be as enforceable as possible. Please note that she says decisions, not advice. But, let's put all of that aside and just assume that the voice only provides non-enforceable advice. According to Professor Greg Craven, the government's constitutional advisor and a longtime supporter of the voice and many other legal experts, if there was a situation where the voice had not yet made representations or the Commonwealth had not given it that chance, then it would be entirely practicable for the voice to take a challenge to a court to stop that action until the voice has made a representation. Let's see how this works with an example. Let's say the government wants to build 500 public houses for low-income people in the suburbs of Sydney, and the voice wants to provide advice on it. The voice's advice is that all of the 500 houses should exclusively go to Aboriginal people. The government disagrees with this advice and decides to give the houses to people based on other criteria. At this point, the voice announces that they want to review a major government project. Like, as Professor Craven has suggested, the submarine project. Voice is happy to withdraw their interest in the submarine project if the government agrees with their advice on public housing. Obviously, the government doesn't want the multi-billion-dollar, multinational submarine project to be stopped or delayed for a couple of years for the voice to properly review it, form an opinion, and provide advice. So, they have to agree with the voice's advice on the public housing project. As simple as this, the voice can practice its unwritten veto power. While Ken Hayne, a fellow member of the government's constitutional expert group, agrees with this possibility, he says the problem is minimal. In practice, the situation would be very rare. Anyway, it would only delay a government decision, not stop it. We should note that the power is in the hands of the voice to use it. A legal expert can only comment on whether this is legally possible or not. But how often it is used is totally at the discretion of the voice. Please note that the voice can make representation to both the Parliament and the executive government, therefore, their negotiation or veto power can cover even projects that have been passed by the Parliament years ago which are currently at the delivery stage. You may say that this is all our imagination, spreading misinformation, etc., etc. If you don't believe us, watch ABC's interview with Marcia Langton, the voice's architect. Or read this article that goes through her interview in detail. The link is available in the description. What she has said in the interview is surprisingly clear and very well explains the ill intentions behind the voice and leaves no doubt. At the end of the day, people like Marcia Langton and Megan Davis can ask for whatever they want. But only at this point of time in history, it is up to us to stop the birth of an apartheid system by voting no to such unreasonable demands. Please subscribe so you get notified when our videos are released. Let's unite together and fight for equality and human rights. Let's fight with this postmodern racism together. We are all humans, we are all Australians, and we all must have the same rights. Let's unite and vote no together. Share these videos with your friend and family. Talk to them logically and invite them to vote no.